Race 2 here at Kirkistown for the National Formula Fords is all set to get underway, and as a result of race 1, it's Murray and Cooper on the front row, ahead of Eastwell and Davidson on the second row, then McLennan and Williams, followed by Dempsey and Thorburn, with Smith and Foster rounding out the top 10. Watch for the 3 cars at the back of the grid: Nico Gruber, Matt Garrido and Hugo Bentley-Ellis, who are going to pick their way through the field. 5-second board goes up, the red lights will come on any second now, and race 2 here at Kirkistown gets underway. Bit of a wheel spin start from the back of the grid as they charge off the line. One person that isn't is Sebastian JOB. He's bogged down at the start and he's lost a ton of places down to the back of the field. Into Debtors Dip and up towards Colonial for the first time, and yet again Cooper leads into the right-hander. It's a lock-up as second place, side by side between, incredibly, Murray and Davidson. Head into Colonial, out of the complex and up towards Fisherman for the first time. Everyone's through safely. Down the outside goes Thorburn as Eastwell goes up the inside over the curb to try and make a move on fourth placed Neil McLennan. Rest of the top 10 scrapping amongst each other. Into the S. This is a lock-up from Carter Williams as Jonathan Brown goes charging up the inside to make up a place. Also getting past some of the slower pre-90 cars at the back of the field. That's Nico Gruber and also Bentley-Ellis around Garrido. They snake their way down the back straight towards the hairpin. Murray moves out to take a look at the lead on Cooper, who locks up and almost goes straight on. He slides wide, and Murray takes the lead on the exit of the hairpin. Davidson up to second place. Cooper recovers, but he's on attack from all sides. He's got McLennan to his outside. Right behind him is going to be, looks to be Jordan Dempsey, and then just behind them is Jamie Thorburn. The leaders sweep past the pits for the first time, all of them in one piece all together. Last few cars head across as they come down towards Colonial. So Murray leads, Davidson's up to second place, and it's a free-for-all for third behind him. Cooper leads it, but we've got McLennan, the 2 Kevin Mills cars, Thorburn's in the mix as well, and also I think Carter Williams too. Up towards Fisherman's, there's Luke Cooper on the right of shot, then Neil McLennan, his teammate Jamie Thorburn in 4th, Eastwell's up to 5th, Joey Foster's up to 6th, ahead of Carter Williams. And that's also, I think that's Tom, David McArthur in the mix as well. He's sandwiched between Rory Smith, his BM Racing teammate, and behind him is Jonathan Brown. Onto the back straight for the second time. McLennan goes defensive. He's now battling with his teammate Jamie Thorburn. Cooper's on the outside as well for third place. It's almost 3 abreast. The 2 Cliff Dempsey cars go side by side, and McLennan just squeezes out his Scottish teammate on the exit of the hairpin onto the pit straight for the second time. Here's the view from Cooper. Now he's looking at 2 cars rather than 1, because it was Murray he was staring at the gearbox. Now it's both Murray and Davidson, and impressively, as we said in race 1, Alan Davidson is taking the fight to the front runners, and he really is giving Murray a headache. Alan Davidson, in one of the oldest cars on the grid, is giving Murray a challenge here for the race lead. They head into Fisherman's. This is on lap 3. Turning their way through the right-hander, halfway around the lap already. It's only a 1.5 mile circuit here at Kirkistown, but the racing is fast and furious whenever you come here. So, 3 for third place. Cooper, McLennan and Thorburn all together in a line. McLennan just darts out because he knows he's got to defend the inside from Thorburn. Behind them, Eastwell's got a massive train forming. And in that train is going to be Matt Garrido, Bentley-Ellis, and also possibly as well in the mix, I think that was also Nico Gruber. And again, you saw that up the inside line came McLennan. Thorburn covered it off. Just behind, they're all over each other. There is, looks to me, I think that might be Jordan Dempsey. It is Jordan Dempsey, so he's fallen back a little bit in his early stages. He's battling with Carter Williams. There are your top 2. I'm still astonished. I know I talk about Alan Davidson a lot, but of course you don't normally see a pre-90 car, so up at the front challenging Niall MURRAY of all drivers, so appreciate it while you can, as someone went straight on at the Colonial right-hander. It's Jonathan Brown, I think. Whoops, there he is. Just nipped down the road to get a pint of milk, I think. He's come back and realised that he's forgotten his change. Anyway, up to the front of the field. This battle rages on now between Rory Smith, then Jordan Dempsey and Carter Williams. Britain versus Ireland versus America. And we've got David McArthur holding off Hugo Bentley-Ellis, and just behind him are both Nico Gruber and then Matt Garrido. Lots of swarming around at the base of the top 10. It looks to me as if that's possibly Dempsey looking up the inside of Smith, but the BM Racing driver has the line covered. They're both chasing Joey Foster, the black number 155. And he in turn is trying to keep pace with Michael EASTWELL. Sebastian JOB. Now he had a bit of a shaky start in the beginning. He's just keeping the tail end of the field in check as he heads up towards Debtors Dip. He's got a lot of work to do, but plenty of time to make up the numbers. and see what he can do to close the gap as he heads down towards Colonial. Relatively clear track. He's got one car in front of him that he's just closing in on, so he's got a chance to set some good lap times here. There is Jordan Dempsey ahead of Carter Williams, and Carter now is in a Kevin Mills sandwich because behind him is Hugo Bentley Ellis. He retired on the first lap right at that corner, Fisherman's. He's back in the mix now and really giving Williams a headache as they head onto the back straight. Look at this, about the top 12 all together on the straight. It's there in front of the field. That's Alan Davidson, and he's coming under threat from Jamie Thorburn. He's caught the Irishman into the hairpin. McLaren stays with the pair of them. More lockups from Smith, and also going wide on the exit is Hugo Bentley Ellis. He misses out, has to slot back in. Meanwhile, Dempsey has pulled himself alongside Rory Smith, and the pair will sprint down towards Debtor's Dip. It'll be a case of who decides to lift first, and the answer to that question is going to be, looking in the back, but I think it was possibly Smith that lifted first because Bentley Ellis is now up a position. I think it was Dempsey actually, because these three Kevin Mills cars all look very similar, and of course you've also got Neil McLennan, who has a very similar coloured white and blue Ray chassis with Cliff Dempsey Racing. There it is, just in fifth position behind Alan Davidson. Davidson is not afraid to attack Jamie Thorburn. Just appreciate this whilst you can, because it's not often, as I just said, that you get a pre-90 car scrappy amongst the front runners in the pro class. It's a rare sight, but when you get it, it's fascinating to watch. So, up towards the hairpin. Murray continues to lead. He's looking to make it 2 from 2 this weekend. Cooper second. Side by side for third. Thorburn defends that inside line. And Davidson tried the cutback, but he's got a super exit from the hairpin. And as Neil McLennan watches on, there could be a possible challenge on for third place here. EASTWELL holds 6th, 7th for Joe Foster. As Murray continues to spread eagle the field here, the main fight is going to be for third place. Davidson looks to that outside line. And Thorburn has a slightly compromised entry into the corner. There's Rory Smith. That's Carter Williams scrapping with Hugo Bentley Ellis. Up into the right-hander of Fisherman's. McLennan closes back in. Might be a bit of a headache for Cliff Dempsey, seeing 2 of his front-running cars battling with one of the local favourites. But he paid his entry fee, he's got every right to be there, and he's doing a fantastic job entertaining the Northern Irish crowds and us watching here. Michael EASTWELL's close back in as well for 6th position. He's there to give a bit of support to the front runners. As Niall Murray leads the field into the hairpin again. Wide there for McLennan as he goes too deep into the hairpin, loses another place. That's to Michael EASTWELL, so he's got some work to do here. Down to 6th now goes McLennan. Murray continues to lead. Cooper second, then Thorburn, Davidson, EASTWELL and McLennan just like that. And it's Foster, Bentley Ellis, sorry, Dempsey I'm afraid. These Kevin Mills racing cars get very confusing. Into the hairpin at Colonial, a lock-up from somebody in front. I think it might have been either Thorburn or Davidson. Turning their way up towards Fisherman's now. The rest of the field pulls its way through. And there is Neil McLennan. He's had a bit of up and down fortunes. There's been some races where he's been on form, others where he's simply had mechanical issues. And there's Michael EASTWELL, yet to win a National Formula Ford race, but he's right up there in the points with a plethora of consistent points finishes. It's great to see that even though you haven't won a race yet, you can still bank the points and keep racking up the scores, and that can keep you in contention for the title. Leaders into the hairpin. Here comes up the inside Jordan Dempsey on Joey Foster. That's going to be for 7th place. Another lockup from Carter Williams as he goes toe-to-toe with Hugo Bentley Ellis. The pair of them still chasing Rory Smith. And it's Spectrum versus Ray charging after the Van Diemen chassis in front of them as we go back on board with Luke Cooper. 2nd place into Colonial, the right-hander. I love the way he glides the car through the corners here. It's fantastic to watch these things just sweep from corner to corner here at Kirkistown. This circuit really does lend itself fantastically to Formula Ford racing, and it really does show. We've had some great racing in the first race earlier on this weekend. The second race is proving just as entertaining. The battle still continues to rage. Rory Smith, Hugo Bentley Ellis, there he is, number 38. The trio of Kevin Mills racing cars, followed by Carter Williams and the Don Harvin prepared Ray. And now, here's side by side again for 3rd place. Davidson has the outside line this time. He may have to capitulate this time, as up the inside goes Jamie Thorburn for 3rd place. So Thorburn is through, or remains ahead for the time being at least. Down the back straight comes Sebastian JOB, and he appears to have caught the tail of the field just about. That's possibly one of the pre-90 cars at the back of the field. So he's struggling a bit for pace here, but he's certainly keeping it honest. Keeping them honest also is Alan Davidson, who's pushing Thorburn all the way. EASTWELL now throws himself into the mix. They turn through Colonial, all together as one. McLennan a couple of car lengths back as they turn in, up towards Fisherman's. Davidson goes up the inside for a move. They're turning to the corner together. You make it up there. They touch. There's contact. Oh, Davidson and Thorburn both off the road. Can they keep going? Well, Thorburn continues to drive on. Now, has Davidson got suspension damage? Because I thought the left front was looking a little awry. He turns into the hairpin. He's struggling to get the car turned. I think there is suspension damage. And the rest of the field goes pouring through. And what was a rather opportunistic move has backfired for Alan Davidson. He was having such a great weekend up until then. But that, I'm afraid, I'm certain is going to be retirement from race 2 here at Kirkistown. Everyone else goes swarming through. What it now means is that Michael EASTWELL's up for 3rd place, but he's under threat from Neil McLennan. And then behind them is Jordan Dempsey. He's also having to fend off Joey Foster. Is Hugo Bentley Ellis from the back of the grid up to 7th place. So one piece of contact has changed the complexion of pretty much the rest of the top 10. The top 2 is safe. Cooper's still chasing after Murray, but 3rd place downwards, it's all gone topsy-turvy. Here's McLennan trying to look up the inside, and he snatches a break as well. I think he possibly saw the mistake that Davidson made and thought, I'm not going to make that one myself. Fool me once, shame on me. Might be fooled me twice, but even so, we'll carry on with the racing as they head out of the S's. Onto the back straight once again. Now, EASTWELL, will he go defensive? Will he go to the inside line to stop McLennan from trying to get through? And the answer at the moment is, for the time being, no. Because McLennan feels as though he's not far enough alongside to make a move. He closes up under braking, tries to get the earlier apex off the corner, but he's lost ground on the exit. You can see there in that sequence, all 3 Kevin Mills cars. Now, behind them, that's Matt Ramgarrido, also from the back of the grid. He's got past Carter Williams. Next target is Rory Smith. Darts to the outside line towards Debtors Dip, but there is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, all in one shot. And Ramgarrido has got through for 8th place. He's past Smith, and Smith now under attack from Williams. This is the bottom of the top 10 as they turn through the right-hander. David MacArthur's not too far away either. Jonathan Brown's in there too, after his earlier excursion at that same corner. There's Matt Ramgarrido. As we mentioned before, he's the man to beat in the Northern Irish Formula Ford Championship. The National Championship here this weekend, not on the same pace he'd like to be. Having to fight his way through the field here on this 2nd race of the weekend. As more battles go on in front, the 3 Kevin Mills cars really are getting amongst it. As they turn into the hairpin together, here comes that fight for 8th. Jonathan Brown looks to make a move behind them for 11th place on MacArthur, looks to have made it stick. As they turn out of the hairpin, still side by side behind them, so Brown hasn't completely made it through. He's still level now with MacArthur, who just edges his nose in front now towards Debtors Dip. And Sebastian JOB, I think that's him, not too far away either, so he's made some good progress past the pre-90 cars. Williams just has a look, puts himself into the mirrors of Rory Smith. Meanwhile, MacArthur repasses, or remains in front of, Jonathan Brown. And there's Carter Williams. He's already visited the Master Road to Indy Scholarship Shootout once, so he knows all about it. He did love to make a 2nd visit back to his homeland. Of course, he's got a lot of work to do in this race and the 2nd half of the season. Now then, this is back to the leaders, and Luke Cooper, contrary to how it was in race 1, has managed to close up significantly on Niall Murray. Before, he closed in through the 2nd half of the race and then faded towards the end. Now this time, however, he seems to have solved the problem because he's keeping with Niall Murray and the pace is pretty much even. In fact, I'd even say that Cooper has a slight pace advantage here. He just needs to try and find a way to get around Murray. And of course, catching him is one thing, but passing him in a Formula Ford is certainly another. Down towards Fisherman's, there is Murray. To make it 2 from 2, but Cooper, if he's got anything to say about it, may have other ideas. Over the curb. This is how close the competition is in the Pro class. These are the best of the best in the National Championship. These guys race for that spot on the Master Road to Indy. There's a couple of the pre-90 cars, some of the local drivers having a good scrap amongst each other at the base of the field. So they're ones to watch as they turn into the hairpin. Cooper closes back up under braking. One of them ejects the pit lane, wants no further part in being lapped, so he dives for the box. So to head down the pit straight once again. We're coming into the closing stages of this second race of the weekend here at Kirkistown for the Avon Tyres National Formula Fords. And the race victory is going to be between either Murray or Cooper at this rate. We look back for third, and here they go, and it's now Kevin Mills' cars in formation because Eastwell's been joined by Jordan Dempsey. So there they are. And then Neil McLennan is now being put under pressure from Joey Foster, so that's another place lost for the young Scotsman. He is now currently the best placed Cliff Dempsey car in the field. The leaders head into the S's once again. Look at the speed in which Cooper carries over the curbs. And he really gets fantastic momentum. And look at this. For the first time, Murray is not safe holding the racing line. He has to go to the inside to force Cooper to weave this way and that to look for an opportunity. So Murray is not confident in holding his line. And there was a bit of a fight going on there, I think, between the two Kevin Mills cars in third and fourth for position, because I saw that Eastwell was right close to the inside line. Last lap board goes out one more time around the Kirkistown circuit, and Cooper is getting ready to pounce. He may look for the outside line here down towards Colonial. Later on the brakes, Cooper goes to the lead on Niall Murray. Murray holds his line and holds firm on the inside on the exit of Colonial and up towards Fisherman's into the second half of the lap. And Murray, for the first time this weekend, is under pressure here. There's half a lap to go and Murray can hold on for his second win of the weekend, but can Luke Cooper possibly pull the wool over his eyes and make a move? He's a little bit ragged, is Murray, through the first part of the S's, and that might be the opportunity that Cooper needs. Down the back straight for the last time. Murray again, he's going to the inside line to defend. Cooper's pulling alongside. Can he dare go down the outside into the hairpin? The two cars are parallel down towards the braking zone. They turn in together. Murray holds the inside line, almost parks it on the exit, but he may try and cover it off. Cooper's close, but it's probably going to be too late. And in the drag race to the line, Niall Murray thinks he's got it. Down towards the checkered flag. It's going to be close, but Murray takes it with Cooper in second place. And the two Kevin Mills cars in third and fourth will come across in team formation, and it'll be Eastwell ahead of Dempsey, and Neil McLennan just beats Joey Foster to the line. So Murray wins a superb second race ahead of Cooper, Eastwell, Dempsey and McLennan from Foster, Brown Garrido, Smith, Williams and Hugo Bentley Ellis from the back of the grid. An amazing second race. That's 2 down, just 1 more to go. Can Murray do the hat-trick? Join us next time to find out.
Well, now, firstly, congratulations. You extend your championship lead. Last lap wasn't easy. You defended all the way.
Yeah, I knew Luke was catching me the whole race. He was just slightly in my toe, and as he was getting closer, he was getting more of a toe, so he was getting quicker and quicker. So yeah, I knew it was going to be the last couple of laps he would get me, and yeah, last lap he was right on me, so I had to defend. But yeah, hung on to take the win. So again, massive thanks to Team Dolan and all my sponsors for making the car absolutely perfect and getting me up here.
With this track being very fast, does the toe make a difference?
A massive difference. It'd be half a second a lap. It'd be yeah, especially with the wind out there, was fairly strong going down the back straight. Thankfully they put in this windmill over here, so as we're going through the race we can look at the windmill and see what way the wind is going. But yeah, during the race it was fairly strong down the back straight, so Luke would have been getting quite a tow all the way down the big straight here. You know, it'd be worth probably 3 or 4 tenths a lap. So yeah, it's tough to defend against, but glad you hung on.
Yeah. Good stuff. Any concern about the reverse grid?
No, I'm looking forward to it. My aim throughout the year is to win all 3 races in one weekend. It hasn't been done. I think Luke got 2 wins in a second last year, so yeah, I'd aim to do that today.
Good stuff. Well, for now, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Cheers.
Well, Luke, what a fantastic race, fantastic result. Second, you nearly had the win on that last corner.
Yeah, very close. Unfortunately, I made a mistake on the first lap, which dropped me back a bit, and I spent the rest of the race paying for that, trying to catch back up. I managed to get right on him at the last couple of laps, but wasn't quite able to find a way past.
Yeah, the slipstream makes a hell of a difference in this around this track. That's where you got to be. You got to be right on him. Not going to let him get a break away from you. Otherwise, he's just going to run away with it.
Definitely. You know, unfortunately, that's what I managed to do at the start. But I was able to catch him back up just about. It was quite painful how slowly it was catching. And as soon as I got in the tail, I was able to go straight up onto the back of his gearbox, but wasn't able to get past.
Reverse grid coming up. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Not sure where I'm gonna be, but hopefully it'll be number 6 and I can start a bit further up.
Brilliant. All right, well, for now, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers. Michael, in the thick of it again, but on the podium. It's a consistent weekend so far.
Yeah, so far so good. Again, a bit like Brands, we managed to keep putting in the finishes. Yeah, really good weekend for us and the team. Again, massive thanks to the Kevin Mills Racing team, and yeah, as always, my family and friends for all the support. And Yeah, I can't, in all honesty, I couldn't tell you half of what went on in that race. It was so manic. Again, Niall ran away. Luke started. I saw he was catching him towards the end. I don't know how close he got, but
Very close.
He got very close to he? But no, we did. I think we did a solid job. We ended up quite far down at one point, and slowly just eked our way back in. And I don't think we got fastest lap quite, but I think we were there or thereabouts. So again, positives going into the next one. So yeah, really good weekend.
I know with the Formula Fords, it's all about the analytics, setup, how the car feels with the driver, and it's unique and bespoke to yourself. Where do you need to work to catch up with these guys?
I mean, probably my biggest issue is the experience that these guys have got. I've only been in cars just over a year and a half, so I'm still learning. Every weekend I'm learning, and really just more seat time. I think we've had a lot of seat time this year, and it's shown that we've improved for it, definitely. So a bit more seat time, and we're there or thereabouts. Hopefully we'll maybe in the next race or one of the other races in the season, we'll have a good run at Niall, because he's getting it too easy at the moment. So no, he's just driving fantastically, and yeah, the quality of the grid this year is so high. So yeah, pleased again with another podium finish.
Yeah, based on the quality of the rest of the field, you've got to be happy just to be on the podium.
Yeah, definitely, very much so. But obviously we're working for the win, so we intend to get there. But yeah.
Good stuff. Well, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.